Sam Levitt here of the Padres Radio Network and 97.3 The Fan at Padres Spring Training in Peoria, Arizona. And right now I'm joined by Padres reliever Jason Adam, very kind to take a few minutes with us on what is a very windy morning in Arizona.
Yeah.
Very, very windy, but we found, I think, just a little bit less of a windy spot. The weather's been great, though.
Beautiful.
So far in Arizona this spring. Let's start with what you just did. Bullpen session looked pretty in-depth with Ruben Niebla, Ben Fritz. This time of year, Jason, what are you looking to get out of a session like that?
Yeah, several things. I think one is just starting to gradually build into a season-type workload. So I threw a game, took a day off, and now a bullpen. So that's almost like an easy way to get used to going game, day off game, or just throwing more often. But also just trying to refine. As a reliever, especially, you don't get guaranteed days in between to work on stuff. So now every pitch in that bullpen kind of matters.
When you look at last season, I mean, your time with Tampa Bay and then after the trade to the Padres, you put together just a terrific 2024 campaign. When you reflect on it now, what was the biggest key to your success last year?
Oh, man. Surrounded by great people, honestly.
Yeah.
I think starting with Snides there in Tampa, he and Monkey and just all the coaches there and the players, I learned so much just about how to pitch effectively over a long course of a season. And then coming over here and getting with Ruben and Fritzy, everyone, it's just like there's always more to learn. So I've got people pouring into me nonstop. And there's always more. I mean, I watch Yu Darvish go about his day, and he's still learning, still working on stuff, still asking questions, asking younger guys questions, always looking to learn. So I think just that thirst for better and to learn more is the key.
With Ruben and Fritzy in particular, you mentioned Yu Darvish. This is a pitching staff with quite a deal of experience on it. What's been the impact of Ruben, Fritzy, and really the pitching group as a whole here in San Diego in particular? Because you're a guy that's been around a lot. You've been around a lot of different pitching staffs and organizations.
Yeah, it's top tier. It is an unbelievable pitching staff from top to bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like Ruben sets. Obviously, it stems from him down, and he's so detail oriented, but he knows his guys well. And Fritzy, he knows us down there in the bullpen so well. Knows what each guy needs. Everyone has a different personality, has different things they need to work on, and they just have us locked in, and they make our job way easier.
You mentioned refining things. For you in particular, you're a veteran arm at this point. What area of growth are you looking to take a step forward in this season in particular?
Yeah, I think obviously you want to just stack. You want to stack. You want to get better and better. So I think for me, we're continuing to get more and more consistent with each pitch. Also, better execution of 2-strike pitches. It doesn't have to always be I don't have to. If you throw an 0-2 fastball at the top, if you look at my film last year, it's a lot of wasted fastballs, not even close, which still can serve a purpose. But I think just refining that, getting to know the zone better, and commanding my pitches, just getting ahead of hitters and trying to put them away.
As far as your pitch mix, obviously you throw the fastball, the changeup has been really effective, the slider, sweeper, I'm not sure how you classify it at this point in your career.
Yeah.
What do you feel like last year really worked from the off-speed pitch perspective?
Yeah, I think part of what worked is the unpredictability of it. So I have the harder slider and the sweeper.
Yeah.
So just being able to play those off each other, executing the changeup. When I'm executing the changeup, pitching becomes that takes care of a lot of things. It makes all the other pitches better. But I think how the pitches play off each other is huge, and just establishing early strikes and early good strikes. And that's probably top for me.
Jason, your story, I mean, it has so many different twists and turns.
Yeah.
You arrive in San Diego last year as this guy from Tampa Bay who already was doing great things, and then you do what you did last year in a Padres uniform. You were dominant late last season, but the really fascinating thing about you is that, I mean, your story, there were serious arm injuries, serious leg injuries, multiple organizations, time in the minor leagues. How would you sum up your journey to this particular point? Because it's it was windy, but also incredibly inspiring too.
Yeah, no, it was. There were some hard days in there, especially like you mentioned, the 2.5, almost 3 years out with the elbow, and then just some fluke injuries, the open ankle dislocation, and Just felt like I couldn't catch on and have sustained success. I feel like at first it took me forever just to break into the big leagues. And then once I got there, a lot of up and down. Not because of service time, it was because I was bad. Like I'd show flashes of good and then I'd be bad. And I just couldn't put it together. But I always felt in the heart, like every time I got released, every time I got DFA'd, whatever, injured, I would just pray about it, be like, am I still supposed to be playing?
Yeah.
And if the answer seemed like yes, I'd just keep pushing on. And I was thankful I had a supportive wife, supportive family, people that stuck alongside me and just, they're like, hey, if you believe in you, then I believe in you. And they kind of held me together through it all.
From a mentality standpoint, how do you think that's influenced you today as a veteran reliever in a bullpen? Like just going through all you went through with the injuries and all the different twists and turns.
It changed my perspective completely. I went from basically the belief that like if I just work hard, I'll get whatever I want. Because when I was a kid, that's kind of how it worked, which is a good thing. Working hard is good, and it's going to put you in a good place, but not always. There's plenty of hard workers that never made the big leagues. So now I get to approach it with more of like a child, like I'm playing a kid's game. It's like every day I get to put on a uniform and get to go, even just practice. It's a blessing, and it's become a lot more fun. I'm out there because we play baseball. We don't work baseball, so there's work to be done to have success. But ultimately, when I'm out there on the field, it's a game. I'm playing. I'm trying to be loose with it, have fun, and just not take any day for granted because you're one fluke thing away from never getting to play again, so you never know when it'll be taken from you. So trying to have that attitude, just hey, I have today, I have right now, and it's a blast, and I'm gonna do it as long as I can.
And I'll echo that. I mean, I see that on your face when you're in the clubhouse, when you're on the field. From what I've seen, last half a season in spring training, always in a good mood, willing to talk, and very friendly. So I think that really comes off. Last thing for you, the first thing I feel like you notice beyond the numbers with your pitching style is this delivery where the ball goes kind of behind the back of your head. And what I find interesting about that is that it's something you actually developed, and correct me if I'm wrong, while you were first with the Padres system the first time around. So can you explain that process? Because it was something, if I understand correctly, that was kind of out of necessity because of the injuries.
Yes. Yeah. So I was on year 3 of rehab for my elbow injury, and I just couldn't. Like every time we thought it was okay, we'd start throwing and it would hurt again. And I knew, I wasn't so naive to not know the reality of the sport. I knew I was like, I'm probably like on the fence of getting released here. So I just went to Garvin was our rehab pitching coach at the time. I was like, hey, can I just try something out? And he's like, brother, do whatever you want. And so I put the ball by my ear, and then I just stepped and I threw, and I was like, hey, that didn't hurt.
Wow.
So then I just kind of I just kept stepping. I'd go a little further. I went to 60 feet. I was like, put it by my ear and threw. Didn't hurt. And eventually I was long tossing, just holding the ball, touching my ear. So when I got to bullpens, I was like, I just came here. I was like, I guess just come sit right here.
Wow.
And and it just happened to work, and I think it actually worked in my favor. I think my stuff got a little better. There was some deception added. So that was like something that worked for good unintentionally when I was just trying to find a way to throw without pain.
Absolutely fascinating, and changed the trajectory of your career.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so I did that. I got healthy, got released, understandably, and then ended up, so that was in late August, and then I ended up debuting the following May and started the up and down journey.
Well, Jason, great to have you here in San Diego. You certainly did a wonderful job after the trade last year. Exciting to have you a part of the Padres bullpen again in 2025, and best of luck with everything this season. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Love San Diego.